What's going on, everybody? Today we are back diving into another solo track from our boy Motoki, and I can tell you right now, between him doing the performance stuff for Ceremony and just new songs that he's released under Mrs. Green Apple in general, and now doing a solo for himself, I feel like Motoki's bound to be like the most hardest working artist right now. Honestly, I don't think anything's stopping him. He's an absolute machine, but I love it because I love him and his voice and everything that encompasses Mrs. Green Apple so much. And his solo stuff is just as good also. So I'm very excited to dive in this brand new song. He has it in Japanese for this music video here, but it's actually translated to Gray, which I think is also what he has it listed on, like all the different social medias and on Apple Music and Spotify, all that fun stuff. So it works out in the long run. So I'm very, very excited to dive into this. Somebody in my comments mentioned this was coming, and this one might be a little bit more of an emotional one. So this will be fun to kind of see this version of him compared to what I reacted to when I reacted to Midnight the other week before. So yeah, this is gonna be really fun. I'm very excited. So let's dive into this thing. Here we go. Interesting. Surrounded by like human droids or something, it looks like. Ooh, this is different. Okay. Whoa, damn, this is sick. Okay, sorry. I will definitely go back here so we can go into this next verse fresh. But I feel like this is so fascinating because if we look at the imagery first, we'll get to the lyrics here in a second, but if we look at the imagery almost speaks louder than his lyrics here does. If you look at, throughout most of that verse there, we see almost like, I think it was the men were dressed in black and the women were dressed in white, and they were like fighting each other and like at each other's throats and killing each other, it seemed like, which is so fascinating because then now that we have that, we have that set now, that image now we go to the lyrics where he says, we might not see each other. Let's get specific actually here. He says, because you held me tight, I want to hold you tight. And then there's something along the lines of, where's that? He says something along the lines of, we might not, here it is, we may not meet tomorrow. And so to say we may not meet tomorrow, and you see, like I said, you can see she's dressed in the white, and he's dressed in the black. That opposite, in a way, of black and white represents almost like a yin and yang type of situation where harmoniously they can work together. That's the whole idea of yin and yang in a way, and you see it in the design of the black and white and whatnot. But it seems to me like it's almost like he wants them to almost come together to, wait for it, make that perfect harmonious color of gray when you mix black and white. The idea of saying, let's be together, let's come together as one. And I think that is so beautiful because it's so interesting to see him represent the men in the black and the women in the white clothing and whatnot. But the ultimate, almost like, mission is for them to mix their colors together to make one unit. Like when you think about couples, for example, they always say like couples tend to be like, they almost start acting like one another. They pick up each other's mannerisms. They become one person in a way. And I think that's kind of like what you see him seeking through this lyricism here, is the idea of black and white coming together to create gray, one harmonious, perfect human of men and women being together like they're supposed to be, which is so cool. This is so awesome, fascinating. Now, let's keep going. What's so fascinating is he's almost topping on also into the idea of the entanglement of trying to get to that harmonious gray color, if you will. You can see it here, him saying, I lost sight of you. So he's almost kind of tapping into the more like the entanglement of what it takes to get to that level, if you will, which is really cool. Gosh, singing Motoki. Oh my gosh. She sacrificed herself. There it is. If blending together is possible. Yes. Tapping into right as to what I was saying before. Blending together, the black and white together. Yes, I love it. Lincoln, black and white. Yes. I love it. This music video is astounding. This is so cool. Wow. The color of ash, like the color gray. Oh, what's this saying? System update. Command gray executes successfully. Oh, that's cool. Is it? Are we done? Maybe? Maybe? Maybe not? I don't know. Wow. That was so good. Why is it everything he does is so incredible and so just well put together, so very well executed, and so thought-provoking, and just it's just like everything he does, whether it's his solo stuff or for Mrs. Green Apple, it's so thought provoking. It really moves you. It really makes you think. And what I love about this actually is you almost have two sides of the story here. In one aspect, you see the black and white between the men wearing the black and the women wearing the white, and them kind of being entangled with the fighting of trying to, find that harmonious gray, if you will, that I mentioned before. But then you also see the robots, though, or like the humanoids, or whatever you want to call them, and the fact that this one guy, the one, I guess, almost main character here, kind of falls in love, if you will, with the humanoid. And if you look at this humanoid slash robot slash whatever you want to call her, technically, she's not really capable of feeling. So she's not really capable of love. At least she shouldn't be, because you can't really express that through machinery and through technology and whatnot. It's just not really meant to be. And maybe down the road, maybe they'll find a way for robots to feel things and whatnot. But it would be something where you'd have to probably incorporate that through AI somehow or something like that, and putting like AI intelligence into like robots' brains or something like that or whatever. But what I will say though is if you see it like as we get towards halfway through, I think, or something like that, you see the robot sacrifices herself for him to save him. So it brings in this idea of, but wait, maybe she does have feelings. Why would a robot basically commit the ultimate sacrifice, we'll say, of saving his life if there was really no feelings there? So then you throw into the idea of, you have the black and white coming together harmoniously for the gray, but now you have the idea of the love between man and a machine, and the fact that we see the machine making the sacrifice of saving humanity. And so you wonder, okay, so maybe this female robot actually did have a connection to this human man, if you will. And so I love that you see two totally different perspectives of almost the push and the wanting to see black and white come together to create gray and almost be that representation of love. And then you see on the other side the human and robot, if you will, kind of connection, where the robot makes the ultimate sacrifice when that shouldn't really be something that the robot would do. The robot should not really have those feelings for a human being, but she did, because otherwise why else would she sacrifice herself to save his life? So I love seeing this brought to life so adequately, so perfectly with Motoki's vision here. And he just like I said, the way he executes everything he does is so well thought out, so fascinating, and he just knows how to really move you with everything he does. And he's probably one of my absolute favorite artists of all time at this point, because of what he does for himself and his solo work and what he does for Mrs. Green Apple. And then to be able to create an entire show too, Ceremony, to bring on various acts from different genres like K-pop and J-pop and whatnot to come and perform just for the sake of performing. There's no awards involved. There's no nothing. It's just allowing these guys to come out and just own a stage for a minute and just show the world what they have. And that's just, like I said, the dude is absolute genius. He is so talented. He is just one of the most incredible human beings I think I've ever been blessed to be able to react to on this channel. He's just that good. So awesome. Anyways, guys, with that being said, if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and drop a like, subscribe, share by clicking down below, and I'm going to press Smash Plays for Mrs. Green Apple over here. That's where I put my Motoki stuff at, and you check out my views for action already over here. As always, thank you all so much for watching and show support, and I'll see you all in the next video. Alright guys, bye!